People's attention span is crazy. If you have a 3 to 5 minute video, sorry to break it to you, they probably clicked off like second 10.
Just because you're giving your client more video doesn't mean you're better.
The guys that have the nicest trucks with the big rims and all this thing, their badass setup, were usually the worst welders.
Most people don't know what they want, honestly. They think that whatever kind of video is gonna work. So that's why a lot of people just accept the long ass videos. We are closing the gap on 500,000 views on YouTube. That's not the craziest part. The craziest part is that most of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. Do us a solid, smash that subscribe button and share it with a friend.
I got 99 problems, but video ain't one. Let's go, baby. Episode 99 today. What types of video? There's a lot of types of video that you could do for your business. It's pretty much like you're marketing with it, or it's documentary style. If you're trying to storytell, or if you're trying to sell something, which is the best option for each, Erick? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the things that people get mixed up, or not even mixed up, but they just don't know about it, is that there's two different types of video. There's documentary style video, which is kind of what we see like with movies and documentaries and stuff like that go much more in depth on story. And there's marketing videos that are meant to sell to somebody, or that's meant for like a business to use to sell it to somebody. But don't get me wrong, like they're both great. They both have their plus and minuses. And you can have marketing videos with a hint of documentary in them that have a hint of storytelling in them. But it just depends on what you want to do, because documentary is for a certain type of clientele, a certain type of your ideal business, or your ideal client, I should say. That depending on which product or your service that you're selling, that might be the route to go. But for most of the businesses out there, about probably 90% of them, it's going to be more of like the marketing specific videos. And under that marketing section, there's different types of videos. There's videos that you can make about your brand, just kind of like overall, like, hey, what's up? This is what we are. This is what we do. You can also make videos about your products, so like ad videos or your services. And then you can also make content that's more for social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, they just say like, okay, I want a video, and then documentary videos usually end up being way longer than what it is. And if you're, I mean, people's attention span is crazy short right now. So it's like, if you have a 3 to 5 minute video just on social media and you're trying to sell something, it's not probably going to be as good, unless you're Ty Lopez, like he was doing back in the day, running ads very long because he knew to keep people's retention. Was the longer video, so his were good, but I mean, there's not that much that really hit it. And so specifically, like on the marketing side, like, okay, people's attention span is short. Marketing video, like, people buy on emotions.
But,
so it's like with the other one, you might have the emotions in there, but they're 3 minutes in.
like,
Sorry to break it to you, they probably clicked off like second 10, second 15. They probably clicked off. And if you don't believe me, there's statistics that say that when they clicked off.
If you actually go read the analytics.
Read the data.
And I think people, if you go to a marketing agency or marketing company or video production company like we are, and you go to them and they offer the best solution for a commercial for your business is a 3 to 5 minute or even longer video, then they probably don't know what they're doing. If you don't have those conversations with somebody, if they don't actually look at what you need, and they're automatically offering you like, oh yeah, we'll make you a 3 minute video so you can post on social media. What's the purpose of that?
What's the objective? You need to know what your objective is before you even think. You got the idea to create video. They're like, yes, I need video. Okay, you're on board. Like, you need to know what the objective is of the video first. Like, do you want to sell? Do you want to sell something? Do you want to get a call to action to get people to do something? Because your call to action is at, if it's a 5 minute video, it's at 4:45. Guess what? Nobody saw your CTA. So if you want to convert something, if there's an event that you're trying to promote, if there's a product you're trying to sell, a service you have, or promote, whatever it is, they have to be more like, what's your point? Like, get to the point right away. You know, not so much. Those are good storytelling, but there's a way to do storytelling. There's a way to do it, and I think a lot of people, just because we go back to it. You got a camera, you have Adobe on your computer, now you're a pro. And I don't think that's true.
Yeah, just because you're giving your client more video doesn't mean you're better.
Hey guys, let's take a quick break from the podcast. If you didn't know, we're a video production company that specializes in creating high quality videos for businesses. We want to help business owners just like you stay competitive in today's marketplace. So for a limited time, we're giving you 10% off your next video project, whether it's a brand video, social media content, or ads. Just mention this podcast to get started. Let's get back to the show. It can actually mean you're worse because you don't know which areas to actually choose.
You don't know how to edit.
You're just like, shit, let me just give them the whole thing because, here you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's a telltale sign of a rookie that they don't know what they're doing, that they're going to give you a long-ass video that has way too much information in it or just way too much dead space, not even useful information, and then they're just going to give it to you and be like, here you go, here's your commercial that's supposed to convert on these sales, but it's a fucking 3-minute long video. It's not gonna work.
Most of the stuff, yeah, especially for so we hit more on the marketing because that's more of the stuff that we do. Like, let's market. We can tell a story, marketing that, but if you're trying to sell something, your video is like 3 minutes long, and you look like you're at the police station, just sitting there for your whole video, just like this, and the camera just punches in and out for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. That's why it doesn't work.
It's boring.
You look like you're at the police station.
Yeah, and we're not like dogging on like the documentary films or anything like that. Like, I love documentary style; it's fucking great. But we're focusing on the marketing side of it because there's people out there who are trying to do that documentary style 3 to 5 minute length films for a business who's trying to market themselves and make some money. And we're seeing that it clearly doesn't work.
Yeah. So you just hit the nail on the head right there. So you say, okay, so we got the types of video. It's a more documentary or it's the marketing. And then it's like, okay, you decided, okay, yes, I want marketing. Okay, once you're on the market, another thing you have to decide too, it's like, what do you want? What's the objective?
What's the purpose of the video?
What's the purpose of the video? Do you want brand awareness? Do you want sales? Do you want views? Do you just want, what do you want? Do you want clickbait? Like, what is it that you want? Most people, they'll be like, yo, yeah, I just want to get more, just to be on social media so people know more about me.
Most people don't know what they want, honestly. They think that whatever kind of video is going to work. So that's why a lot of people just accept the long ass videos. And they're like,
so they just rely. So you're saying they just go blindly and believe like 100% with the person.
Yeah. It's pretty much whoever hits them up first, though, they blindly believe that person because just because they got an LLC, then they got a camera, they're going to believe everything they say. And that's not true. You have to, as a business owner, you have to do your thorough research to make sure you're hiring the right people for the job.
I guess they're good at sales if they're selling people, huh?
They're good. They're good at talking, not necessarily sales. But yeah, it's like, what's the purpose of the video? I mean, that's gonna determine where we go from there. Like, if you're a business owner, you're talking with your marketing agency or your video production company, and they don't have these conversations with you of like what the purpose of the video is, they should probably keep looking, because that's where it all starts. Like, what's the purpose of the video, and then that's where we go into the planning phases of everything else from there.
Yeah, and another thing you just hit perfect on is like, okay, this is the purpose of the video, and then you just said the pre-planning. If you don't have a pre-plan before you like people show up, some sort of a plan, like, all right, what's up, dude? What are you filming today? Like, that's not good. And then some of it could be on the business owner that they can't get back to you and telling you like, okay, I want to do this, or this is what I'm thinking. And depending just how you sold your services, like maybe that's what it is and stuff, but it's not fair to the business owner because he just wasted his whole time. It's not fair to the camera guy because he just did his whole time, but then it's poor planning on that camera, that video company. So you just got to be prepared. And that's something that we do. I've said it quite a bit of times to the people that I interact with, like, if we don't even know what we're filming, like, I'm not showing, you're not even going to see the camera. We're just going to leave it. We're just going to go ahead and leave it out in the office. I'm not even bringing it with me if we don't know, because it's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. Everyone's just wasting their time. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, we're here to make some money, not to fuck around. Like,
yeah, just because you like show up with the camera doesn't mean like everything to be set. Like, you know, like we're not just going to give you a script and you're going to repeat word for word, read off a teleprompter from the screen. We are closing the gap on 500,000 views on YouTube. That's not the craziest part. The craziest part is that most of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. Do us a solid, smash that subscribe button and share it with a friend.
Quick story time. So, my background, I was welding. The guys that had the nicest trucks with the big rims and all this thing, their badass setup, were usually the worst welders. So another thing to think about, this camera guy shows up and he got his whole thing, like, he got this, he's overdoing it. You're just like, it's too much. You know, you can kind of be like, oh, he got a lot of stuff. Most times they don't know what they're doing. They're like, let me buy all this gear, let me buy all these tools, this truck, so I can pretty much make up for the lackness of professionalism that I have. That's why they do it. I've seen it many times in the welding business. They got this $100,000 truck and they just got, they feel tough with it, but they're not that good.
Their inexperience with the flashiness.
Yeah, and we got over here somebody with a single wheel over here just smashing them. Yeah, because he knows what to do. He knows it's the pro behind the machine, the pro behind the camera is what makes the difference, not necessarily your equipment. Yes, your equipment will affect you, but first you gotta
master the skills, and once you master the skills, then the equipment you get later on is going to improve the overall end product. But if you're starting out, if you're someone who's at the beginning of the phases or whatever, just because you have the right gear isn't going to mean that you're going to be automatically better. It's like, no, you have to take it step by step and learn the skills before you move on to the next phase.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're just here just like
talking shit,
just dogging on everything, but we're really not. We're small business owners. We know what it feels like. I've worked in a lot of these construction jobs, service-based jobs, and I know how hard you guys work for your money. So we're saying this just so you're aware, like if you are going to spend money on something, invest in something, like you don't get like scammed. They call them the smoke sellers. They talk it up all good. They take your money and you're like, what? This is it? We know what it feels like to have that. So that's why we're saying, like, take these things in consideration before you even do it. Go get a couple quotes, Let me see some of your work. Like, to say like something else. And honestly, after having a little bit longer conversation with somebody, you can kind of tell if they know what they're talking about or not. Like, you can tell.
Yeah.
After I've talked to over 1,000 people easily, so it's like you can kind of tell when this business owner is like, he actually knows what he's doing or he doesn't know. He can tell right away. And so it's just something to be aware of. We're doing these because we see all these problems that are going on with people in different businesses, different industries. And we're just like, it's not fair to the people. Everyone works hard for their money, and it sucks for just somebody to come in and just steal your money pretty much. It's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another like misconception that like business owners have is that if I just smash on social media, if I just post every day, if I do all this, I'm gonna rake in and get a lot of business from it. What's your take on like what social media is and how it should be used the right way?
I mean, it goes back to the objective. Like, what do you want? Like, what are you trying to do with it? And yeah, if you're blasting it every day. So I just had a conversation with the business owners not too long ago. Hopefully, we're going to be helping them out and dragging them out of that hole that they're in. But if you just get a lot of the same content, like when we say generic content, if you work for like a bigger company or bought a product or whatever, they send you like 1,000 photos of something, whatever it is. So if you're a dealership, if you're a dental office, whatever you are, they send it like that. And the problem is with that is that they sent those 1,000 pictures to like another 500 people. So everyone's using the same thing. So everyone's already used to seeing that. And that's why it doesn't work. And that's one of the biggest problems that that I see. It's like, okay, your objective is, you said, to show people off what you do, to bring value to them. Well, you're not telling people what you do. It's a picture of a random dog or something, even though the dog pictures get clicks on them and stuff. But just whatever it is, it's some random picture that everyone else is using. Generic stuff. And you're not bringing value to them. You're telling them that they're not that important, that you're just like, shit, let me get away with this. Let me just post whatever and I'm going to get away with it. That's pretty much what you're telling them.
Yeah. And like another problem is like with those generic, with that generic content, is that there's other people in that video. So if I'm watching it, I expect to see that person in the video when I walk in the door. But then when I walk in the door, someone completely different, and it just throws off the whole game. If the whole point is to get yourself known, you got to be in the video, because then you're not going to get yourself known. They're going to get to know that person in the video, not get to know you. And if it's like a lot of generic content like that, there's nothing that separates you from like the other franchise next door using the same content. They're going to think, they're going to think that it's interchangeable, so it doesn't matter which one I go to. But if you care about bringing value to your clients, then you're going to care about which one you go to. Because you even if you have the same franchise or same like business model or same industry, you want to offer them better service than that person next door.
Yeah, that's why you got in business. Like, we're being naive. As we get into it, the business life kind of kicks your ass a little bit. So you're just like, let me just tone it down. Sun comes out for everybody. No, I want everybody to, like, you do, yeah. But like, what do you want that other friend, like you said, a franchise, what do you want all the business to go to them and nothing to you? And then you'd be like, no, because then you don't make any money. You can't provide for family. You can't do X, Y, Z. So you do want it. It's just that life starts beating you up a little bit, the business world, and so you get a little soft on us, and you start like, oh, no, maybe I should. No, this is good enough. This is good enough. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but I think like the biggest like difference, or the biggest thing with social media is that just because you're posting on social media, that's not gonna automatically convert to sales. That's the difference between social media content and an actual commercial. Social media content, for me, I think it's getting more brand awareness, getting more people aware of your business and what you do, who you are, and you're playing the long game with that.
Do you think that's why maybe a lot of people don't do the content? Because maybe they're not that good at what they do? And if they're like, dude, if I do too much content, people are going to see that I'm full of it. They're going to see I'm full of shit.
I think to a certain extent. Like, if there's some people...
Like, dude, you sit down for an hour and talk with someone, you're going to be like... Or 2 hours, you're going to be like...
Especially if you're...
He's just contradicted himself. Like, what are we playing here?
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that's more... for smaller businesses or people who are barely starting out, that it's kind of like the imposter syndrome. Like, they don't know if they're actually providing the value that they say they are. You know, and then I don't know. It can get into the weeds a little bit, because some people they might not be good at what they're doing, so they don't make any content. But then other people they're so good at what they do that they don't have time to create the content. So they're stuck in that loop. I know I want to make more content, but I don't know. I don't want to take time away from my actual business. So you can kind of get caught up in that loop, and they're not informed about the other options that are out there.
Yeah, and that's why if you don't have the time to do it, I think that's why you partner up with the right company that's gonna go do that due diligence for you. That's gonna go do that market research for you. That's gonna do this for you, so you can just be like, all right, cool, let's go. Instead of sitting there, instead of you having to still do all the research, and like, that's why they don't do it, because they're like, what am I going to say in the video? I don't know. Like, I don't got time to think about that. Like you said, I don't got time to think about that.
It's about having the right team in place.
Yeah. So if you guys are ready, you guys are committed to doing some video stuff, take those things in consideration before you make a decision. Like, what do you want to do with it? How legit is the company? And what results will I get from it? What's my objective of the video? So catch you guys on the next one.
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, yeah.